If I was going to start an AI agency today, this is exactly where I'd start. In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a voice AI agent using GoHighLevel that can answer questions, book calls, and even close deals. Let's jump in. So first up, you're going to need GoHighLevel. If you don't already have it, there's going to be a link down below for my affiliate. I'd appreciate if you use that. It helps me out a little bit. But in here, there's a few things you need to set up before you can really start working on that voice agent part of it. If you don't already, I'll show you on the screen share. You need a phone number. So the only difficult part about getting a phone number is getting the phone number approved. You have to fill out some information. Not that hard. GoHighLevel has really got down the time to getting that approved. Sometimes it's same day. But in here, you'll go to your settings. So let me go back to what a dashboard looks like. You'll come into settings, and then you'll go into phone numbers. And from there, you can create a new phone number. And you'll have to go through your approval process, but you'll just add a new phone number. And that's pretty self-explanatory, so I am not going to do much there. I think you have to go to Trust Center and fill out the brand approval process. You have to know information about your brand, have an EIN number, things like that. I use a 1-800 number because it has less issues with spam. Deliverability is a little bit lower, but usually it's just, for some reason, it just seems to work better unless you have a really kind of more advanced SMS process. So that's the phone number. The next piece in here in GoHighLevel is you're going to go into voice agents. So this is what we're going to focus on the majority of this video. So I have one set up, but I'm going to just start from the beginning here and show you what it looks like. So the GoHighLevel's done a really good job at making this very simple. So you're going to come in, again, settings at the bottom, then you're going to go to voice AI agent, create agent. So this is going to be a fairly fast video. I want to just kind of show you how to do everything without making it overly complicated. So in here, you'll fill out your information, agent name. So this is actually what they're going to introduce themselves as, business name, language. Here you get to pick the voice. So there's surprisingly a lot of options to definitely play around and have people listen to it and see what's most natural to people. I had 10 people look at the agent I was using to pick a voice. And then in here, you'll set up your greeting. So it is an AI voice agent, so the longer the greeting, the more awkward hang-ups you get or like uncomfortable waiting for it to intro. So I try to make it as short as possible. So, hey, you've reached, we have a short name for the company. So CD Orlando is the one I'm doing. How can I help you today? I actually changed mine, so we'll go into mine example in a second, but I just want to show you the key step here is when you hit next, you have to go to switch to advanced mode. So that will give you a whole bunch more options and let you create your own prompts. So in there, you're able to create your own prompts, do triggers and things like that. And then I will give you a sample prompt. I'm going to go into mine in a second, but the next step, obviously you fill it out. There's a prompt guideline here, and then you're just going to go next, and you'll be able to basically go live. You select a phone number, which is already assigned, and a couple other settings here, but it's all pretty simple. So let's go back into my actual one and I'll show you a real example. So this is for a local business. Let's see, I'm gonna delete this guy. So this is a local business and I'm gonna go ahead and edit. So this is what it kind of looks like when it's all set up. We have Jenna as our agent's name. We have the advanced mode. In here, you don't have to change much settings. This is just how it's handled in speech. The person that I'm setting this up for wanted it as slow as possible, so normal is that slow process. And then you have a max call time because you are being charged basically by minute. It's very affordable, but you want to make sure you have a max there. So we went with Phoebe. We had our time zone set. It's right now they only do inbound, but outbound's coming. And then what I wanted to do is gather information right away. I wanted to get my lead capture because we want to make sure that we're going to be able to call back. So a lot of what we're using this AI agent for is to create a task and an opportunity, and then we'll be able to call them back so they can ask generic questions, schedule, and then get a call back. So just, you've reached CD Orlando, Jenna speaking. Can I have your name, please? So this is the first thing it says. It's always going to say this, and that's kind of a normal, natural. If I was going to pick up the phone and be like, you know, my company's Auto PR, Scott speaking. Can I get your name, please? It's just a kind of normal transition. Over here, you get to test the chatbot. I think you get 10 minutes a day to test. And then in here is where we're going to set up our actual agent. So we start with the advanced mode here, and this is a long prompt. But I will show you, if you sign up below, there is a guide to get my sample prompt, which I need to find for you. If you sign up below, there's the link to the sample prompt, and basically what it's doing is walking you through the different pieces of the AI agent. And as we get further along into this video, I'm going to show you how it becomes an actual agent, because when you start off, it's just a chatbot. It just answers questions that you prompt it. It takes no real world action. So the difference between an AI voice, any AI chatbot, and an agent is the agent can take real world actions and do something. And we're going to be able to set this up so it does actually do physical things. So here's kind of the outline where you can actually just fill in your company information. So the greeting with just person's name, asking for the first name. We ask for email. The cool thing is it will automatically put the email into the CRM along with the name. And then if you set your phone number up correctly, you can have it, you pay for it, but you can have it name matched by public record as well. So the CRM will always be very accurate. So we go through there. You're going to basically build out your FAQ. So the next step is obviously you have your intro, your greeting, and then you'll have your FAQ, which is all the questions you want it to know. The more in-depth you get here, the less you have to have a human get involved in the later process. So for this business specifically, the case study that we're using is CD Orlando. They don't take insurance. So that's there's two main reasons why people call. One, to see if we speak Spanish, and one, to see if we take insurance, and then pricing. So we made sure to put all of those in there, and basically you can get as complicated as you want with these FAQs. With pricing, it literally asks, so we have different services, and we programmed it, instead of just saying, you need a custom quote, we have it have a conversation. So it knows what our services are, it asks what they're looking for, whether it's an evaluation, whether it's counseling, things like that, and then it tells them the pricing. So it makes that process a little bit easier and allows them to book over the phone. So taking a message, basically if it doesn't know the answers, it's then going to be prompted to take a message. Call handling, there's specific triggers that will show you how to do, and then ending the call, just knowing when the call is over, and then setting any limitations. Like we don't have it set up to send the client an email if they ask, which we could do, but we don't. Then just setting kind of some guidelines for tone, voice, things like that, just trying to further have the program understand how we want it to speak. So let's go back to that AI agent. Basically, that's how you're going to set it up. You'll have to modify that yourself, but I'm going to scroll through and you'll see that this is basically exactly how we set ours up. If you're going to use ChatGPT, you can also grab this basically outline, throw it in there, and then have it help you build your AI agent prompt with the roles and expectations setting based on what GoHighLevel and Lead Connector say for you. So this is the magic here. What makes it an agent is actually setting up these tasks. So updating contact fields, basically we'll have it looking for email, first name, and last name. And here's what it looks like. It's just exact email. It gets mapped to the field email, and then it knows what to call, and basically gives you examples. So pretty simple to set up. You can basically copy and paste this. Same thing with exact name, first name, looking for first name, examples of first name, and then last name. I think the original way they had it was full name, and it was only asking for one. I set up for both. That way if someone gives a first and last name, it knows what it's looking for. So very simple there. It's a nice feature because what we're going to do later is build an automation with tasks involved and opportunities. So that way if someone comes in, they're automatically built into our pipeline so the team can follow up pretty easily. So the next thing here is you can set custom triggers. You can call transfer. So if you have a live support team, you can transfer to them live, which is really cool. Then triggers can build a whole automation out. There's a couple ways to do that, so I'm going to do mine a little bit differently. And then sending SMS. So this was probably the most valuable piece to this for us, is that when someone asks to schedule a call, this is what's going to happen. So they automatically get an SMS, which is incredible if you think about it, because they're going to be on the phone and be like, I'd like to schedule an appointment. And it will say, absolutely, is it okay if I text you a link? And it'll text them the link. So this is what it looks like. You can go ahead and copy this, obviously change out your links, but it literally sets up every piece of it. So the message that's going to be sent as an SMS is pretty simple, and it kind of tells them how to treat it. And then you could even put in, like, they can text back to that number, so let them know, and then when to do that, and then what to say before sending the SMS. So it's just that whole thing. And you could even ask, like, have it say, like, is it okay if I send you an SMS? And then they say yes, and then you send that. And you can do this for, cancellations. You can do this for payment links. You can do this for all of these different pieces of it. We have payment built into our scheduling link. So basically by asking and getting them to send this, we've had people just sign up and pay directly on the website through this process. So very powerful, where it's answering questions, sending them a scheduling link, and getting them to pay. Past that, it's pretty easy. There's a couple other options here that I'm not really using. You can send email notifications, things like that, which I didn't think was that important. Phone number and different setup options. You guys can kind of play around with this to make sure you get it exactly the way you want it. Pick hours. So maybe if you have staff during the day, then they can answer the phones, and then when you don't have staff, the AI agent, like a answering service, can then answer. So for this company, they don't have a secretary during the day. They have someone that works off hours, and so we just need them to answer 24/7. All right, so then we have call logs in here down below. It shows actual numbers, so I won't scroll down, but you can see kind of the calls in the last couple of days. We just set this up for this client. Most of them were positive, and below you'll see the logs, so that way you can actually listen and hear what people are saying. So to here, you actually have to go back into the phone number section. So let's go back into phone numbers, and there is an option to have it record all the numbers or record all the calls. So edit configuration. So this is how I have mine set up, and then call recording needs to be set up there. So pretty simple, but you do need to set this up correctly or it won't work, and it tells you that's linked to a voice agent. Then past there, the last piece of this is an automation. So if you're not familiar with GoHighLevel, you'll just come back into your main dashboard and you'll go into automations, and then you can create a new one from scratch. And this is what it looks like. I've already set this up, and it's really simple. So our trigger is any inbound call. You can set different triggers, but this way I know that any call coming in will create a task and an opportunity for us. And that's what I really wanted, because I don't 100% trust that the AI agent's gonna crush it. So this way someone knows to go double check, see the opportunity, move them through the pipeline, whether they booked a call, whether they are not interested, whether they were just asking questions and it's not a good fit. Whatever that might be, you can do that. So this is your trigger. It's just incoming call. It'll ring for all incoming calls. You can obviously add more filters. And then from there, I'm going to go ahead and create an opportunity in our leads pipeline. It's going to be a new opportunity. It's pretty simple what it looks like. And then the last step here is I want to assign a task to the individual that is in charge of actually handling these calls. So that's really it. That's the voice agent. And again, the cool thing about this is it is an agent. So the fact that it can take real world action is the most critical part, because you go from not answering your phones to having all of these calls being routed, voice messages being taken, and then the biggest piece of it, if you have even a basic sales team, is using the CRM to make sure that you're tracking these opportunities. If you guys like more content like this, please make sure to subscribe. Thank you.